People don't want to train people up. Companies are just lazy. Like, they don't want to invest in training. Most clients that we work with are in like Asia Pacific. So like 80% of our clients are in Australia. I mean, most of the work we do is English speaking markets. So we don't really do foreign markets. I've seen a lot of like agencies trying to recruit people to come from UK to Australia because I think there's favorable visa conditions too.
You're running Australia's biggest SEO conference, Sydney SEO, in March.
We have like 30 test websites, and some of these test websites have grown into be like mini brands, kind of blown up because they're in different verticals. It's generating hundreds of thousands of clicks.
So how do you see Google SGE affecting affiliate and niche sites going forward? I know there's rumors that it's not coming out. It is. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another interview. In today's episode, I've got James Norquay, one of the OGs of the SEO industry for sure. I've known James for pretty much the entirety of my career in SEO. He was definitely one of the first people that I ran into. He now runs Australia's biggest SEO conference, one of the biggest digital marketing agencies in Australia as well. And he was famous for diversifying his portfolio away from just client work into affiliate space. So we'll get into all of that throughout the episode. Please welcome to the channel, James Norquay, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me, Charles. Yeah, I think I've known you for many years, probably like over 12 years or something like that, since when you first kind of got into SEO. So yeah, I remember chatting back to you and Matthew Barbie on Skype like long time ago. So yeah, definitely kept in touch over the years.
Yeah, I remember the Skype groups, inbound.org as well was the one as well back in the day with the original kind of Reddit upvotes for the SEO community. I remember reading Viperchill's posts and stuff and always talking about it with you as well. Those gigantic kind of long editorials were awesome. Those days were really the kind of the OG days as well. Like it was definitely it's also amazing to see how far everyone's come, right, from those days, because a lot of people kind of had jobs or had, you know, were just kind of starting out, and now people like yourself kind of running one of the biggest digital marketing agencies in Australia. We have some of the other people running some of the biggest digital marketing agencies in the UK, Canada, right? You know, talking multi $10 million a year agencies and stuff. It's really quite amazing. So kind of talking about your agency, how did you get started with Prosperity Media?
So yeah, basically I used to run like a big MySpace layout site that hit over 20 million unique visitors. So that's kind of how I got into SEO. And then I had like entertainment sites. So we had sites ranking in the US market in different like entertainment niches, basically like music and things like that. And then, yeah, I was doing really well from that, like making a couple $100 a day on Google AdSense back in the day, and just different like revenue sources. And my parents were like, "Go and get a real job." So I was like living at home at the time with my parents, just staying up to like 3, 4 a.m. working or doing SEO. Like I probably didn't know what I was doing back then. I was just doing all sorts of random stuff, just testing stuff. And then, yeah, I went and got a job at an agency back in like 2008. So at the time, I didn't like, I just applied for a few jobs, and then people were like, "You know too much, like you're a risk, blah, blah." But then I went for a job somewhere, and the guy was like, "Oh, like I need someone to like lead a team and start an SEO offering." So yeah, basically I was kind of went from running my own sites to kind of starting a SEO offering for, at the time, it was Australia's largest media company. So they were like a media buyer, and they were doing like hundreds of millions of dollars in media buying. And those people were spending millions and millions a month on like Google ads, but they had no SEO offering. So they were outsourcing all that back in 2008. And I kind of came in and had to build an offering. And then I was there for like 4 years and built up that. And they hired a whole bunch of people. And then in 2012, pretty much went and started Prosperity Media. So yeah, we're probably the largest SEO specialist agency in Sydney. So yeah, we're specialists for SEO, digital PR, and content. And we do a bit of analytics and stuff, but we don't do paid media. So yeah, we've grown the team from just me to, we've got over 28 people now. So yeah.
Damn, that's a massive team size, especially considering you're just specializing in SEO. And I think that a lot of agencies do kind of go too broad with their offerings, right? And they don't kind of have that specialized. They don't actually have even the expertise to be offering kind of those additional services half the time, right? So I think it's kind of within your nature to just 100% go down that path. So because you're an Australian agency and you do have international clients, how have you found competing internationally as an Australian agency, considering you are in kind of the other end of the world for most clients in the the UK or the US and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I think most of the time, most clients that we work with are in like Asia Pacific. So like 80% of our clients are in Australia, like 10% in New Zealand, and we've got a few in like Singapore. We used to have a lot more clients in the US, primarily like around like the like LA, California, like Seattle. Like we've worked across that time zone because that time zone's pretty good for Australia. Like usually the morning in Australia is the afternoon and night for them. So you can work with clients in that time zone. But yeah, UK time zone is a little bit trickier. But we have done jobs in the UK before. Like I think like if for like global brands and if you're doing a good job, they'll just let you work across multiple markets if you're getting results. You know, I don't think people care too much where you are. But yeah, it is hard for Europe and the UK for like connecting calls and things like that. Sometimes you got to stay back late and but we've definitely like we've done jobs everywhere, you know, like we've done jobs in the UK, Australia, Singapore, all over the US. So like working primarily anywhere is not really an issue.
Have you found dealing with clients from different demographics kind of different?
Um, I mean, most of the work we do is English speaking markets. So we don't really do foreign markets. That's definitely something that like it gets too complex. Like we have people that say, "Can you do our Italian SEO campaign?" Like we don't have Italian speakers in our office. Like we don't have Italian link builders that know how to get IT links and things like that. Like I mean, people just use vendors or whatever to get links. But yeah, I think I mean, in terms of how people are different in different markets, like in Australia, clients um, can maybe be a bit more chill. I think in the US and UK, people are a bit more like want stuff quickly. In Singapore, people want stuff quickly too. Like it's funny, like a couple of weeks ago when it was like Christmas shutdown, like in Australia, like there's like Christmas shutdown, right? Like everyone goes on holiday for like 2 or 3 weeks, like no one replies to anything. And then someone hit us up from Singapore for like a lead and they sent a lead and it was like over the 2 weeks that our office was shut. And they sent a lead on like Friday and then they sent another lead on Saturday. And I was just like, whoa, like chill out. Like we'll reply, like, cause like even if our office is shut down, like I still reply to stuff like myself, you know, like just reply on the phone, like let's lock in a call, whatever. But it's just like different markets. I think like they expect maybe things quicker, like very quick, you know, quick, like want it now. Whereas Australia is a little bit more like relaxed vibes. New Zealand's similar too, like pretty kickback, but people still want results. You know, like people, if they're spending good money, they're gonna want results. But I think there's definitely a lot more like work-life balance in Australia. Like people want to work from like 9 till 5 and then it shuts off. But in America, like and in the UK, maybe you're working longer hours too.
Yeah, we don't know what work-life balance is in the UK, right?
And a lot of UK SEO people are actually moving to Australia. Like it's been, I've seen a lot because Australian SEO salaries, like we pay SEOs pretty well here, and yeah, I think I'd probably say higher than UK. So,
100%.
yeah, I've seen a lot of like agencies trying to recruit people to come from UK to Australia because I think there's favorable visa conditions too.
And now for a quick message from our sponsor, Search Intelligence. If you're looking for digital PR campaigns, what you're about to see should impress you.
We got 20 links and placements on massive websites such as The Express, Mirror, Daily Record, and many more with a campaign about the pros and cons of popular diets. Not bad. This is exactly how we've done it. Our client is a very popular fitness client. We have asked them to provide thorough expert commentary about the pros and cons of the most popular diets. Once we have this information, we put this in a nice email and send it out to 15,000, yes, 15,000 journalists from around the world that write about fitness. So good. And unhealthy. Big publications picked up our story from the email, giving our client massive, juicy, saucy, healthy links that are 100% relevant to their website and that will keep the rankings of the website in a great shape. You see what I've done there? I hope this case study inspires and that you will start leveraging expert community type campaigns to land links to your or your client's website, just like we've done it with this campaign.
I think it's multiple things, right? Like the UK is seeing a kind of spiraling downward economy, and the weather's trash, the people are negative, there's crime like going through the roof and stuff, right? So there's this kind of whole thing where it's just, if you can move down under where you've got sunshine, happiness, and better pay, then you've got kind of everything you've ever asked for, right?
100%.
Yeah, I also do think that with a lot of the agency hires, there seems to be a lack of solid people at the moment. Like there just seems to be in general a lack of solid candidates. And I don't know whether it's because people are scared at the moment to change jobs because of like AI and things like that, that they're scared to move and change positions and things because they don't know if they're risking their career path to do so. Or it's just because people are kind of happy where they are and they're kind of stuck, right? I don't know. We've been trying to take in as many candidates as possible for our kind of recruiting business that we're starting soon, and it's genuinely been quite difficult to get certain types of people. Like there seems to be kind of a lack of technical SEOs, a lack of SEOs with development experience or development backgrounds and things like that. So if you're out there and you feel undervalued, you probably are. So I would try and look for some better pays out there, because like I said, there's an abundance of jobs and seems like there isn't there seems to be a lack of quality people to fulfill them at the moment.
I think the biggest problem there is like people don't want to train people up, like I think like we've trained a lot of SEO people up over the years, and there's a couple of other agencies that do it, but people just like companies are just lazy. Like they don't want to invest in training, because to train someone up, you got to invest like 2 or 3 years of your time into training them up. A lot of companies just don't want to do that, like I think the other thing that we've seen recently is like hiring for different types of roles, like hiring like say like a data specialist or like a junior data person. Sometimes that can be a good fit to get like a technical SEO person, because like a lot of people that are in the data world, they don't know about SEO, but they know Python coding. They want a freaking chance at a job. Like there's like tens of thousands of people in that industry where there can be a bit of crossover. So sometimes just mixing up job ads and testing different stuff has worked as well to get different people that may not even know SEO exists, but they've spent 5 years doing data and they know coding and they love the internet. So yeah.
And even to your point as well, I think a lot of people, a lot of agencies especially, just don't have up-to-date training, don't have proper SOPs, don't have anything really. So even not even to do with like onboarding people, even their current staff aren't kind of up to scratch and aren't properly trained and stuff, because they just don't have that base level things. And I do understand that, as a CEO and as a CEO and stuff, the last thing you want to be really doing is writing a PDF tutorial on how to sign up for an account and do something, right? But if you don't have that initial layer of training, as you grow as a company, you do just deteriorate in terms of quality, because as you hire and onboard new people, or as people grow into new positions, they don't really level up and they don't really match the same level of quality as the person that was doing it before them, as that person levels up, because the training and stuff isn't there, right? So I definitely agree with that entire premise.
100%. Yeah, no, we've invested big in like onboarding and SOPs, and for like the last 10 years we've been investing in that, and like you have to, because if you don't, like that's people, they're not going to know the right way to do things. And you have to constantly be updating SOPs too, because things change, like every freaking month in SEO something changes. So you got to continuously update stuff because it becomes out of date.
Yeah, very, very quickly. Okay, so let's move away from all that kind of stuff and move over to your conference now. So you're running Australia's biggest SEO conference. It's Sydney SEO in March, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, how have you developed this over the last few years? Because I've run events and I know how much of a pain in the ass it really is trying to organize these things.
Yeah, events is a lot of work. Like, I think a lot of people just don't do it because it's just the cost. Like, running anything in Australia is costly. Like, I think people don't realize how much shit costs as well. Like, putting like a one-day event on, you might have to spend $80,000 to just for all the different random stuff, you know? So, and then you got to sell tickets and you got to pay for advertising and you got to make it affordable too. So we only charge like $349 for our tickets, and that's pretty damn affordable considering you're getting like food. We get bar tab, you get really good SEO speakers. So like it's just crazy that people don't want to invest in that. You see people that are like, "Oh, I'm not going to pay $349." Like that's a bit much. And it's like, well, your team when they come down are gonna learn a lot. You're gonna be networking. It's gonna be next level. So yeah, I think people like yourself, Matt Diggity, like we've invested a lot into running these events and giving back to the industry because yeah, someone has to do it at the end of the day. And there were other companies that were trying to do events in Australia, but they just charge too much. You know, they charge like 2,000, 3,000 a ticket. Not that many talks. Like, I think that's pretty much why I started doing it, just to give back to the community, bring really good people down to Australia. Like we've had like Carl Roof come down, we've had Matt Diggity, we've had Bernard from ClearScope, Alita Solis. So we've bring some big names down, and like we usually get them to come into the office when they come down and do like a half day session with our team. You know, we've done masterminds here, so it's a lot of fun. You know.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the connections and networking is a massive part of it. It was the masterminds and things for me was what really leveled up, I think, my understanding of business more so than kind of the SEO side of things, right? Because I've been able to rank for the last 20 years, last 15 years, whatever. That's fine, right? It's the actual monetizing part of it that I kind of struggled with, especially when you're, you know, when I was like 14, 15, just not understanding how to properly value things, not understanding how to properly maximize things, and just not even understanding the worth of things properly, right? So I think that definitely helped me develop going forward. What I want to talk about is you diversifying your agency away from just clients into your own sites and into your own affiliate sites and niche site spaces. How are you getting on with that entire endeavor?
Yeah, I mean, like we've been doing sites forever because like that's how I got into SEO. You know, I had a MySpace layout site, I had some other websites. So at the moment, the way that we kind of have really grown that up as an agency is we have like 30 test websites. So just testing different things, you know. And some of these test websites have grown into be like mini brands, like where they've kind of blown up because they're in different verticals. And yeah, like some of them have done really well, you know. And I've bought websites too. I don't know if you saw my talk at Chiang Mai. I did a workshop. I talked about some sites that we've bought, like bought sites that were ranking in the UK and then flipped it to Australian market. Yeah, some have done really well. Yeah, like just testing different stuff. You know, I just put up something on LinkedIn today about one traffic test that we did on one site. And basically, we're looking at paywall sites, looking at sites that have low competition, like behind paywall, low competition keywords, and we're building out like pages based on that at scale. And it's generating hundreds of thousands of clicks just through low competition paywall sites with like no paywall and titles and things like that. So it's just testing random stuff. Just like it's fun, you know, like if there's some new type of wacky schema that comes out, we'll test it on one of our own sites before we roll it out onto a client. Because yeah, it doesn't matter if you stuff something up on one of the test sites, but yeah, for these big brands that we work with, you want to get it right.
Yeah, I think having that test environment as an agency is very powerful because too many agencies, and it's especially having a test environment as a team as well, so that you can do team level experimentation and things like that. It really gives you an edge up and an insight above just agencies who are only doing client work. And like you said, you can mess things up and it doesn't really matter. So that's kind of perfect. So how do you see Google SGE affecting affiliate and niche sites going forward? I know there's rumors that it's not coming out. It is like it will eventually roll out, and there's kind of rumors that it's going to be watered down. It's only going to be 10% of the SERPs. It's only going to be 80% of the SERPs. You know, from my testing, it looks to be like 50 to 60% of SERPs, maybe 40% in some niches are showing SGE. But how do you see SGE affecting affiliate niche sites, client sites going forward?
Yeah, it's definitely going to affect affiliate sites in a big way. I think like especially like info content sites. I mean, there's been a lot of people testing different things to get like data points on the level that it's going to impact, but I definitely feel like affiliates will get hit pretty hard. Um, I think the other thing is the way that I've always looked at SGE and the way that we've been playing around with it is we're looking for like new opportunities, how you can optimize for SGE. So like when you search for a keyword, we want to show up in all like we tell clients the super snippet, you know, like show up and all that, and then working out ways where we can pull in phone numbers to SGE and all sorts of stuff. So I think there's going to be new opportunities for people. I think even if it does get rolled out, I think a lot of clients will start to panic because they might think like traffic's going to get lost, which it probably will. But then there's going to be new opportunity for people to like sell in new services, you know, like generative AI SEO services or SGE rankings or whatever. And like I think like there'll be new consulting opportunities and yeah, but affiliates will get hit hard, you know, like and info content sites like display ad sites, zero click searches is going to rise. Definitely 100%.
Yeah, I think it's going to affect basically every vertical, and nobody's going to be safe. Unfortunately, everyone's going to see some loss or something affected or something, right, in the SERPs. If you are in the SERPs, that is right. It's kind of just an inevitability, in my opinion. So getting away from SGE, but still staying within the AI realm. How are you using AI, if you are using it at all, for your clients in your own site portfolio?
Yeah, for our own sites, like we've been testing AI for years, you know, like even like before ChatGPT, like we were using like Jasper, just testing it out. Even on some of our own sites recently, we've done some tests where we tested like AI content versus human written content versus human plus AI. So we're doing a lot of tests like that. I definitely feel like for a lot of the kind of niches that we're in, we still need human writers, but definitely like AI content's definitely taking off, and especially for the affiliate sites, we are using it. I think you've got to have good prompts. You really have to be editing it a bit as well. I think too many people are just jumping into Chat GPT and say, write an article about best things to do in Sydney. And then like 50 other people are doing the same thing, you know? That's when it's not going to work. But definitely we still have some in-house content writers and yeah, I think it's got to be a mix of both.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And is there anyone online can find you?
Yeah, I mean, just like on LinkedIn, James Norquay, just follow me or add me to LinkedIn. Just don't spam me with random backlink offers on LinkedIn because I already get enough of that. If you're in Sydney, come to Sydney SEO Conference on the first of March at Crown Sydney. Use the code LinkedIn. I think that'll give you $50 off. But yeah, it's going to be a great event. Yeah, but Twitter, LinkedIn, follow me on there, or just check out prosperitymedia.com.au. Happy to chat.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.